Okay, Chumash for Friday in the Hein, page 36, the sixth Aliyah for Parshas Kiseitze. Pasuk K, verse 5. Just to give a preview, we're going to talk about today Moshe reviews with the Jewish people the laws regarding exemptions for military service, the laws of conduct when taking collateral on a loan, the prohibition of kidnapping, and the skin disease known as tsaras. Hey, 5. Kiikach ish isha chadasha. If a man takes himself a new wife, l'yetze batzava, he must not go out to serve in the army. Normally, any matter of the army imposed upon him. 1 year shall he remain free for his house, and make his wife, whom he married, happy. This is the concept in Judaism of Shana Rishona, the first year where the husband should be free to spend time with his wife. Hey, Isha Chadash, a new wife. She Chadashle, a new wife doesn't mean a never married bride. It could mean it's new to him, even if she was married, even if she was widowed before. I mean, if it's a new marriage for the first time, to exclude a case of where it's machse grushosef, taking back your divorced wife, but you're allowed to do if she never got married to a second man. But if you did that, which happens, people get divorced and they want to get back together. That's wonderful. It's not considered a brand new marriage that would exempt the groom from going to war for a year. For lo yavra love, no, it should not be placed upon him. He shouldn't go out to the army, nor should anything be placed upon him, which means any army matter. The Chodah Rashi explains, anything that's just, it's not battle, but maybe it's, military needs. For example, not to provide water or food, KP duty. What's it called, KP? Is that what the term is? What does KP stand for? Kitchen Patrol, KP. I only know that because I read Beetle Bailey. Okay. Nor to fix the roads, be the engineer for, core. So this is a case of a brand new marriage. Then he's totally exempt for anything, even, just supporting needs for the army. However, last week we talked about those that go back from war when the Kohen says, who wants to go back? Who's afraid? Or who has sins, I'm sorry. He said we give examples of building a house that you did not yet live in yet. Or someone who betrothed, didn't get married. There's betrothal and there's marriage. Betrothed, but didn't go to the chuppah yet. Those people, while they're exempt from the battle, they still have to do KP duty and fix the roads. Okay. He shall remain free from his house. Af b'shvil beisay. So again, a new groom for a year, he's free for his house, even for his actual house, which means not just household like his wife. It's actually saying that just you think about it. It's a very subtle difference. We talked about going back from the war, and that was last week, and that's only a betrothal. Betrothal is not the same level of you don't need to be free to spend time with your wife. You're not allowed to spend time with your wife when betrothed. You can't live together until you do the final stage of marriage, in the Suyan marriage. So, but betrothed, he says still he doesn't have to go to battle. He's not spending time with his wife, so he should go help the army in other ways. So he says this extra word, Yilevesai, it teaches you that just like there's a slight nuance of betrothal versus marriage, where they're both exempt from battle, but betrothal you'd still have to go to support for the army, and marriage you're totally free. That applies in the paradigm of the other examples given about building a house. For example, you build a house and you did inaugurate it to live in it, right? Not that you didn't get a chance. You already cut the ribbon, or not the kedem, or you planted a vineyard and you did redeem its fourth year. So you want to now use the first year you can enjoy the fruits. So too, those examples you don't have to go even to support the army. Understand? So in all the areas of all the all the examples basically of marriage, building a house, enjoying your vineyard, he says there's two stages of those things. One where you're exempt from battle, but you still have to go to support the army needs. And then a later stage where you're already enjoying the fruits, the house, being fully married, that you should rejoice in those things for a year and you're totally exempt. Levesai, Rashi says, you should be free for his house, as we said, Rabbi says to include his vineyard, as we said. V'simach, so what does v'simach mean? He shall make his wife happy. Uncle's translation is he shall make his wife happy. And he who translates it as he shall rejoice with his wife, v'simach, he should rejoice. There's make rejoice and there's you rejoice with. What's the difference? The second one is wrong because the translation would have been there's the active verb and there's the causative verb. The active verb would have been v'sameach, v'samach. V'simach is a causative. You're making somebody else happy. Yud. Lo yach v'rechaim v'rechev. I'm sorry, vav, 6, verse 6. Lo yach v'rechaim v'rechev. A creditor must not take a lower. When you take a collateral, you must not take a lower or upper millstone, which is like a bare necessity to make flour. Ki nefesh u'chayvel, for you're taking surety, collateral of what the debtor needs for bodily sustenance. Rashi, lo yachvo. Rashi explaining there's different stages when you take collateral. There's collateral at the beginning of a loan. And this was talking about collateral when the debtor defaults on the loan. Torah is telling you must not take collateral items that are used for food preparation. Okay. Rechaim is the lower millstone, Verachim is the upper millstone. Zion. If a man is found kidnapping a person of his brethren, the children of Israel, and he uses him as a slave and sells him, then that kidnapper shall die, and he will thus eradicate the perpetrator of evil from among you. Yeah, Zion. Kimatze, Be'edim Esra, if he is found through the testimony of witnesses and after a warning. Anytime finding is with his witnesses and a warning, which means full, the highest level of proof and intent. Visamer boys, if you find someone who kidnaps a person, and visamer, what's it? Hisamer is an unusual word. It means, utilize him, exploit him, use him as a slave. Then the kidnapper shall die. So human trafficking for slavery is punishable by death. Be careful with the tsaras mark by being very cautious not to tamper with it. Be careful with the tsaras mark by being very cautious not to tamper with it and by carrying out its laws. According to everything the priests in the tribe of the Levium instruct you, according to everything that the priests in the tribe of the Levium instruct you concerning it as I commanded them, so you should be careful to carry out. So tzaras, Rashi, be careful with tzaras mark, ches. Be careful that you do not detach signs of impurity or cut off a baharis tzaras mark. You can't try to skirt it. According to everything that they instruct you. Whatever. We talked about the laws of tzaras. The laws of tzaras. The kohanim have to tell you, is it tzaras? Is it maybe? You have to quarantine. Whatever they tell you is you have to listen to it. You can't try to fudge it by ripping off your skin, leprosy. We continue on page 30 in the Chayenu. We're in Pasuk Tes. Zachor Miriam. Constantly remember what Hashem your God did to Miriam on the way when you went out of Egypt. Remember what Hashem your God did to Miriam. If you wish to be careful not to be smitten with saras, remember, this is one of the 6 remembrances. Remember what God did to Miriam. What did God do to Miriam? Gave her tsaras, leprosy. Why? Because she spoke negative speech. So remember what he did to Miriam, that she spoke against her brother and she was smitten with tsaras. Good. Kisa shevereacha masas mumma. If you have any claim of any kind against your fellow man, you must not enter his house, take his pledge. Now we're saying you take a loan, a collateral on the default, or continuing, you can't, we said before, you can't take, bare food necessities. You also can't forcibly enter his house when he defaults and take collateral forcefully. Rashi kisasha v'riacha, which Rashi translates seichuv bechavrach, when you claim a debt from your friend. Masas mumma means a debt of anything. You're based. If he's a poor man, you must not go to sleep while his pledges with you. If he's a poor man, you must not go to sleep while his pledges with you. Okay. Rashi. Even when he gives you something, if it's a thing he needs for the night, for example, his pajamas or his blanket, you have to give back to him for night, and you take it again in the morning. Gimel, and you must return him the pledge at sunset, so he goes to sleep with his garment. And God will bless you. This will be considered righteousness for you. L'fnei Hashem Elokecha, before Hashem your God. Kivaya Shemesh. So Rashi says, if it's a night garment, the guy's very poor. He has pajamas, one pair. You have to give it to him every night to use. Let's say he has one pair of day clothes. You got to give it, then it's the opposite. Keep it by night, but you have to return every morning. We already stated this in Parshas Mishpatim about you should. It said there this law that you should return it to him until sunset, meaning the day clothes you give it to him by day, and at sunset you take it back. So. And while this is a big bother for the borrower, he will bless you. God will bless you. I know it's hard, and if you're going to be blessed. And if even you don't get blessed, you don't see that God, make you win the lottery or something. Still, remember, this is a righteousness. It's the right thing to do. I'm sorry, take it back. Be kind to the poor man, so the poor man gives you a blessing. But even if he doesn't give you a blessing, do the right thing. That ends the daily Chumash.